Hello, welcome to another episode by Scriptwriting Tips. Many aspiring screenwriters and writers in general seem to struggle on how to find the various plot points in stories and films. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to locate the first major plot point or turning point. Somewhere before the end of the first act, there's always the first plot point or turning point. I'm going to stick with the term turning point because it really turns things around. Right after the first turning point, we have the beginning of Act 2, so it's quite easy to locate it because the two of them are connected. According to Joseph Campbell, we leave the ordinary world and we enter a new world. The moment our protagonist starts this journey is the moment we enter in Act 2. But what is the event that takes place in order to convince our protagonist to start the journey? Is the protagonist being chased by someone? Is someone in danger and our protagonist is trying to help? Something pushes our protagonist towards Act 2 to start the journey, to walk through this metaphorical door. And that's the first turning point in our story. So here's my method. Go backwards. Go backwards. Go backwards. I know turning point 1 comes first and Act 2 follows, but you do it in a reverse order. Find first the beginning of Act 2, the moment where the actual journey begins, where the adventure starts. If you need more tips on how to find where Act 2 begins, there's another episode by Scriptwriting Tips. Press the link in the top right corner of this video, or you can find the link down below. Then, find the event that is close to the start of the journey, the event that caused it. That's the first turning point. Recap. As we've mentioned, first we locate the moment where the protagonist passes from the ordinary world to the new world, which is where the Act 2 begins, and then we search the event that caused it, which is the first turning point. Let's see some examples in films of the first turning point. Back to the Future. When does the actual journey begin for the protagonist? Marty time travels to the past. And what's the event that leads the protagonist there? It's the killing of Doc. The terrorists shoot and kill the dog. Marty sees this, cries out loud, and when they see him, they chase him, trying to kill him too. Which leads to Marty driving the DeLorean and speeding up through the limit of time traveling. And in a new world. Jurassic Park. When does the actual journey begin for the protagonist? Dr. Alan Grant and his wife, Dr. Ellie Sattler, arrive on the island where Jurassic Park is, and they are shocked to see live dinosaurs. What's the event that leads the protagonist there? Hammond visits Alan and Ellie in the excavation site and invites them to visit his park in order to certify its safety, in exchange of extending his subsidy to their research. Of course, they happily accept, which leads them to the island where the Jurassic Park is located and where they see live dinosaurs for the first time in their lives. The Matrix. When does the actual journey begin for the protagonist? Neo wakes up outside the Matrix. He starts a journey in a new world, leaving his ordinary world behind. What's the event that leads the protagonist there? Neo chooses the red pill. Morpheus offers Neo 2 pills. If he chooses the blue, he will go back to his bed and stay in his ordinary world. If he chooses the red, he'll find out what the Matrix really is. His life is gonna change completely. Neo takes the red pill, which leads him to waking up from the matrix and see the truth behind it. The Godfather. When does the actual journey begin for the protagonist? Michael reads in the newspaper about the attack against his father, and without a second thought he decides to step in and protect his father and his family. What's the event that leads the protagonist there? Don Vito, Michael's father, is being attacked by Solotto's order and his life is at risk. Don Vito goes to the grocery to buy oranges, and Solotto's hitmen empty their guns on him. The first turning point is so demanding, so imperative that the protagonist just can't refuse. In contrast to the inciting incident, when the protagonist could still refuse a call. Although Vito survives, when his son Michael reads about the attempted assassination in the newspaper, he's so afraid of his father's life and immediately reunites with his family. When Solotto makes a second assassination attempt later at the hospital, Michael has already decided to step in and save his father's life as well as affirm his loyalty to him. Catch me if you can. When does the actual journey begin for the protagonist? Frank runs away from his home and family. What's the event that leads the protagonist there? Frank's parents are getting a divorce. Catch Me If You Can is one of those cases where the first turning point moves us right away to Act 2. Both points are immediately connected. Frank is being informed that his parents are getting a divorce, and he has to choose which one he would like to stay with. Which leads him to run away, avoiding to make a choice. Groundhog Day. When does the actual journey begin for the protagonist? On the first repetition of Phil's day. What's the event that leads the protagonist there? A blizzard traps them in the village for one more night. A blizzard that everyone seems to expect except for Phil, who is an arrogant weatherman, traps him and his co-workers in the Punxsutawney village for one more night. Which leads to Phil waking up the next day and find himself stuck reliving the Groundhog Day again and again. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching. I will continue to release videos on how to find the various plot points, sharing tips, explaining structure, and analyzing movies and stories. So stick around and let me know what you'd like to see. Feel free to share your comments or tips in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and found it useful, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of this content, hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. This is Apollonia and Scriptwriting Tips.